going to work out here? Who knows? Well, these guys know. Anyhow, playing for Team Jin Green Wings over in the top right, it is Trap.
And in the bottom left-hand side, it is TY, formerly of Benny and the Boys.
Always.
Always.
Formerly. This is a bond for life, cats. Bond for life, all right?
Yeah, currently, of course, also representing Africa Freaks. And look at this, living up to the name. What a freak.
Yeah, and this is kind of what I expected from him. This particular build that he's going for, it's going to be a proxy barracks, obviously. Going to be most likely 2 gases. And I think it's going to be like a marine very quickly. That's to make sure that you can get the factory and swap it. But I think this is going to be very much some like Hellions trying to stunt the economy of your opponent, then Widow Mines. Like the whole 9 yards of cheese and abuse.
Ooh, a triple layer cheesecake. Those are my favorites. But okay, so we're gonna have the marine that you're talking about, maybe from this barracks to protect the barracks and to protect the setup, you're saying?
I think so, yeah.
Nice. Okay, here we go. So next, we're most likely gonna see a factory. How important is the position for actually getting to your opponent quicker? And how important is it just to deny information to some degree? Because you expect a scout and that this will be scouted, right, from the probe at your main.
Yeah, your main's going to get scouted. So seeing this, so Trap's big thing that he's looking for here is, okay, how many guys are on each gas? Is the barracks still in the base? Okay, it's not. How far away from your base is it, and how close to mine? So him sticking around here, he's seeing that all the guys are staying on gas. So as time goes by, he's like, okay, this is, I kind of know what this is, I think. This is not going to be a CC build for at least for some time, and it's going to be about how well he defends.
And you know what, Ben? I was about to make fun of you for saying like the question for posing the question of how far away is the barracks from your base, because I thought, how the hell are you going to get that information? But then the Marine coming back actually probably gives that information away to some degree, right? That it's definitely not all the way across the map.
Yeah. So like, yeah. And yeah, don't make fun of me in this matchup, okay, Cat? I know this matchup. I know my boy.
I would never.
Okay, this SV, though, this guy gets quite a lot done here. Gets to see that it's a Stalker, it's an Adept second, and the Stargate, most importantly, and also knows there's a shield battery up in that main. So if you just send up 2 Hellions up there, they can't really get the damage done you're after.
All right, and that's a little bit problematic because the follow-up is Widow Mines, right? Though there is a medevac coming through. So, all right, so the Hellions can poke at the natural. He'll most likely want to keep him alive for a later on run by to distract for the Widow Mines, I imagine, right?
And also, like, no point going up into the main. He spotted that shield battery. Like, it would just be tickling probes at that point.
Alrighty, so a Adept is going to make his way through here.
I like this, though, the armory.
Well.
You know what this armory means now, Cats?
What does it mean? What does it mean?
That beautiful patch that we had where the armory now means that Widow Mines that burrow are permanently invisible.
And that is nifty against Stargate openers, isn't it, Ben? Because you really want a robo eventually. And look at this! That is extra nasty because it's more positions that are going to be harder and harder to clear, especially with Revelation. It's limited.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he dropped one at the top of the ramp or something. Oh, no, he doesn't go for that at all. He just goes all 3 in the main, actually, here. And this is quite a bit of lost mining time, in fact.
And they're the one in the natural, don't Ben. The one in the natural, the one in the natural, the natural. Okay, well, we just saw the probes at least go up in kills, so that's an extra 5. And again, these are gonna be not stopped for a little while. There's no armor, there's no robo on the way. There's a Phoenix, and you know, Revelation is gonna take a little while here. There's one more coming.
And for these Hellions, he can actually morph them into Hellbats if he wants, which he's doing because of the armory. That is, and he has to. Oh my gosh, this Widow Mine. Okay, didn't get the kills, but
yeah, her sister Widow Mine did die, but the Hellbats are actually doing quite a decent bit of damage here. Actually, not too much. Just 2 probes go down, it seems, and another tag onto the Widow Mine. But TY recognizing that there is no persistent. No good way to handle this, I guess, consistently for Trap is continuing with the Widow Mine production and continuing to be annoying because he's saying, hey, get a robo, get a robo, get a robo, get a robo.
That's exactly what he's saying. And I've been looking at the production tab as well. Like the natural is now up for TY, and he's been doing nothing but making lots of Widow Mines. And there's no robo in production either. There's still Widow Mines in the bases and stuff. Okay, nice revelation. But every time one gets revelated, he just runs it away. He's constantly taxing Trap's attention here. It's really nice play by TY so far.
It's excellent. And these are kind of inexpensive units, right? And they're units that are kind of easy to deal with once you get enough. But if TY can continue to get the ball rolling, this Oracle is out of energy right now. He will have one more revelation soon, but there are 3 Widow Mines.
There are, and 2 of them are hidden in the medevac, and they're just going to go for the main base again.
Love it. One is going to burrow in the ramp, like you were saying. The other one gets a decent connection onto a Stalker. That's already well worth it for that one. And the last one will get cleaned up in the main.
But what's going to happen with that Widow Mine in the main? I mean, if that Oracle flies over it, wow. And it's pretty close. It's pretty close.
Yeah, those Stalkers are lucky.
They're lucky, but they're also sad. Absolutely no health whatsoever.
And their best friend just died as well, yeah. So yeah, they're super sad.
Oh, well,
never mind now. This one is just, yeah.
That one's super sad. The other one's
just
kind of like,
him, yeah.
Yeah.
Send them to Belshire Beach.
Or Ahana, you know, with their family members now.
Yeah.
As we all do know, Ahana means family.
It surely does. And now we have a 3rd base coming down for Trap. It has been somewhat delayed. A lot of Phoenix as well. How do you feel about the Phoenix? Seeing as there was like Widow Mines and now Bio, is that common? Or is he looking for a Colossus transition, or is this Panic? What is this?
Like if you go for a Phoenix build, you kind of need to commit to it, because if you have just 1 Phoenix, it's useless. If you have 2, kind of similarly useless. 5's a pretty magic number to go to. It's just a good all-round opening. You can transition out of it into anything. Colossus can be really good, but you don't need to stick on Phoenix from this point on. It's just once you're committed to something in this matchup, you kind of need to go all the way with it.
Definitely. And Phoenix are kind of double-edged somewhat against Widow Mines. I mean, if Widow Mines are already burrowed, then they're pretty good against Phoenix. But when they are being dropped, then the Phoenix can really get in there before or as the Widow Mines animation is going on and shut it down. So maybe partly because of that as well is the choice here from Trap, who is now going to cross the map and see what he can get done with this for the first time in the game.
And 2 Oracles in this with the 5 Phoenix. It's definitely a bit of an air fleet. Like, this costs quite a lot to accumulate. But it can get damage done. It can be annoying. And the main thing is it provides a lot of scouting information in the Terran. You have to respect it.
Now, does it need to get damage done? Does it need to be annoying is my question. How do you see the state of this game? I look at resources lost, and it's actually pretty even. I feel like TY has been a little bit more annoying throughout, but Trap has stabilized nicely, it seems.
So 14 probes died, but the indirect damage that TY did to himself by going that strategy he did.
Yeah.
Oh, these Phoenix. This is the kind of stuff that is good about them. If you leave your base, they get damage done. And then they also buy time, so you have to go back. Oh! That's nice.
That's huge. They are quite expensive. So resources lost up a little bit better now on the side of Trap, so kind of flipping the script just a tiny bit, but still mostly even. And it's TY now feeling a little bit adventurous. I'm not sure how to feel about this really, but I guess he assesses that the Phoenixes are without energy now, and Blink Stalker's not particularly known as fighting units. Is this a strong push from TY, Ben?
It's very strong. Like, I'm kind of worried about the fact that he doesn't have Combat Shield done yet, but tanks, he's got enough Vikings to deal with the air as well, just to keep them at bay. Can't just like run at him and just, oh, nice Marine as well, single Marine there, forcing the stasis.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of Blink Stalkers, guys.
And no siege on the tank. Those Blink Stalkers will pounce onto the now stimmed Bio, and TY has already made the decision to retreat. It's not like he can turn around. There's not much reinforcements. I say that the second tank arrives, and he's going to attempt at sieging, but this is so many Stalkers. The force fields go down, not too great. Not trapping any units at this point, and a lot of the shields on those Stalkers are going to be going down, and with that, Trap will be pushed back. But I mean, he was on defense, so I don't think he minds too much. Or is this a big reveal, you feel like? A big army composition based off of gateway units? Did he need to get more done with that?
No, he wanted to stay alive. Like, I think TY is... He's in a position where, okay, he's making a second engineering bay. Does he have an armory? Of course he has an armory from earlier because the way this game opened up. TY looks like he's going to be happy with slowing this game down a little bit. He's still going for more tank production. Like, in my head, if I'm thinking about this, I'm like, okay, you want to do a push soon, TY. Mainly because there's no real super tech for Trap just yet. But I'm curious about how this game's going to go from this point on. Oh,
yeah, Trap actually... Oh, okay, but with the Zealot flank, maybe he can take at least one of these engagements. This is a lot of charge slots. Heavy on Marauders is not what you want to be against this many charge slots. The sentries are lagging a little bit far behind. There are not any more mines, but 2 tanks in the back will be the backbone that allows TY potentially, if he is to stabilize.
Okay, so yeah. TY playing defensive against this was absolutely the right call, because if he moved out and then he got flanked by all those Zealots, that was almost like a counter timing. So TY, there was something that tipped him off. He did scan in the natural before. He got to see the Templar archives and stuff. So maybe he knew, like, oh, okay, this is going to be a charge lot, Zealot timing kind of thing. Oh, TY, rather, Trap is going in again.
Yeah, maybe a slight miscalculation. They're blinking onto the tank, but barely one shot off from sniping it with the Stalkers. That means all of the Stalkers have to fire a second volley onto that tank, and TY takes, perhaps somewhat on the back of that, a very decisive engagement.
Super decisive. The second engineering bay is getting used now as well, so upgrade-wise, he's in perfect shape. Economically, he's only at 58 SCVs, but he's been mining for a while. By the way, he had 2 barracks. Okay. The 2 barracks did get completed. He's producing 2 more barracks, and now he's looking to deal a lot of damage. Trap trying to buy time with his Zealot run by, but TY's pretty quick to greet it.
That's the Muslim and cats. They're bold as well. Look at it.
The Zealots?
Yeah, well, not anymore.
Not
Only
anymore.
while they were killing stuff.
Yeah. Why they were killing stuff? They were great. Oh, shield battery overcharge does go down. Warp Prison with the High Templars coming in as well, but this is a lot of TY still, and this is kind of a technical army. Ghost, Liberators, Tanks, Bio. This is really hard to stop.
Yes, indeed. Good job by Trap even getting any storms off against those Ghosts, but this is such a strong timing from TY. The shield batteries are out of energy. Excellent position on the tanks. EMPs and snipes are a plenty here for TY, and this Bio army really, there's no Colossus, there's no more storms, there's no any AoE that gives me any hope for Trap to keep this base alive.
Shield battery's been used as well, and GG. Trap takes the loss in the first game of this series, and he's looking a bit desperate on his webcam there, like very sighing, very in pain almost, not just in game but physically speaking. TY played good.
Yeah, I wish we had a Gemini camera as well. I would love to see it. They're probably like matching exact reactions, Trap and him.
I think Gemini would be feeling even worse though, you know?
Probably.
Like if Trap and Gemini were asked to draw a picture of Trap, I think Gemini would draw it way better because he just knows his face more, which is weird. but yeah, it would happen.
In an endearing way.
Yes, endearing.
Oh, Ice and Chrome, Ben.
Oh, Ice and Dream, baby.
Ice and Dreams, baby. One of your faves.
As Rotterdam says, of course.
As Rotterdam usually confuses it.
Yeah, you know, first it was Eternal Palace with that man, then it was Ice and Dream, and then it was Ever Chrome, and then it was Life Aura.
Pillars and Gold.
Pillars of Silver. Like, that boy just gets it all wrong, Cat.
Wow. The Pillars of Silver.
And, you know, he even confused Submarine with Airplane the other day. It was wild, Cat.
I'm not buying that one. The rest of them, I believe. But Submarine for Airplane, no one would do that.
No one at all. By the way, it's really cool to see some of the meta shifts in TVP. Like, for a long time, tanks were kind of considered this unit where it's like, you just want a couple defensively. And then switching into Widowmines ASAP kind of thing. But now people are starting to make tanks more and more, getting up to numbers like 5, 6, just to kind of like stabilize a position that you can pivot on. And we got to see that with that push. That push was a lot about the tanks.
Yeah, it really was, and they were anchoring positions as well defensively. A lot of the time, it was Trap pushing into the line of fire and not realizing that there were tanks in the very back until it was too late to retreat. Right, you're already engaged with those zealots. If you want to retreat against the Terran army at that point, it's gonna cost you basically. So yeah, very well positioned tanks from TY throughout that entire game, and now we are going on to Ice and Chrome, a tanky map as well, right? A map where tanks are very strong positionally, where there's a lot of chokes to hold and to attack from.
One of the very cool things about TY that makes him a little bit tricky, especially in this matchup, is the fact that he actually can play mech as well. He's been a big advocate of mech in TVP. And spawning over in the bottom left-hand side, playing as the blue Terran, it is TY.
And on the top right-hand side, it is for Green Wings, Trap.
By the way, Cats, do you feel you have any advantages being bold now?
Ben, you know what? You've just reminded me of something that is actually probably an advantage. And I don't know if you remember this, Ben. This is like 7 years old or something, but we have a running $100 bet that we have not gotten to. Do you know what it is?
Swimming.
Yes, it is swimming. And you know what? Being bold would probably help with that.
I thought it was 500.
500?
I've had in my mind that Cats has owed me $500 since me and the boys were like.
We've never swum against each other. How could I owe you that yet?
That's what I'm saying, Cats. This is it's so set in stone what the result is going to be. Like Ben, you have merely adopted the bold. I was born in it, molded by it.
Yes, true. What were you thinking about, Ben? What about advantages of being bold other than hydrodynamics?
I mean, the aerodynamics are really good and the streamlinedness, but having a shower now, like your ability to dry off instantly and stuff. Or the shower itself, just the feeling on your head.
Oh, that is so nice, actually. Yeah, and I've discovered other things as well. Touching the back of my head feels a little bit different than the front of my head. I'm not sure what that's about, but
I mean,
only when
not
I'm clean shaven.
Touching your face is not the same as touching the back of your head.
Well, I'm not sure about that. I think we could go deep into that again, Ben.
Okay.
Right, the Reaper.
Yeah, the Reaper. So TY did go for the barracks, like the proxy barracks this time, but it's a super different opening in that he's going Reapers, 2 Reapers to be exact, and also building a bunker at the natural trap, and it's gonna get up actually.
All right, and right at the front as well. Usually when I see this, it's more towards the back. At the front, it would be easier to get up. Is it as effective in denying mining? I guess so.
Yeah, it forces the shield battery, which is also cool. These Reapers can get in the bunker. Now, do you just focus the shield battery? Oh, that's exactly what we're going to do. That is annoying. Oh, wait, no.
He did. No. He switched back onto the Stalker, so... All right. Well, it did force the shield battery, like you said. So is that a victory on the side of TY, you would see it as? He did have to invest the second Reaper and, of course, that proxy barracks, so...
I will be super honest with you, Cats. These cheesy builds are not my brand at all. I'm a super solid macro player when I play games, you know? So I actually don't know if this is all he was after. I think Trap prepared well for it. Like he just acted well and strongly, but yeah, it's an unusual opening. I think TY is just trying to make the game a little bit more unorthodox and hopefully like just making the game a little bit weird. His practice, given that he's practiced the weird, just makes him more prepared for the game itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, some players are just better in chaos, so if you can take it to chaos, that's what you do, especially if you judge your opponent is not good at it, right? A lot of players, like when I was a player, against certain players, it would be my strategy to just take it there, no matter what, because I felt like they were particularly weak when things got out of control.
Yeah, it's always a cool thing when you... So doing the builds like TY's doing in the series, and like Australia did to some degree.
Look at that. The medevac animation is so cool. The thrusters.
Yeah, it is cool, man.
Yeah.
I like,
Hellion
you
will
like the
get picked up.
thrusters.
Yeah. It was going faster when I was looking at it. But yeah, these Phoenix are pretty good against Widowmine drops too, right, Ben?
If they're there in time, yeah, for sure. It's not an armory one, so they will get revealed afterwards, so it's not as important picking them up, but TY is trying to bait
the
Phoenix
Reaper
out
bait though.
somehow.
TY is so smart. Look at that. The Reapers is what allows for the mines to be dropped. Oh, brilliant. Will he get enough for his troubles? 3 probes, and I think, big hit onto the Phoenix, but will not kill it, of course. Yet still pretty cool. And look at that, spreading the mines, because again, no robo, but one of them will get picked off. Oh, both of them will.
Oof. That was good defense. Overall, though, look at the resources lost tab. Like, it's 1k versus 250. Just 3 probes dying. It was really cool trying to force the energy out of the Phoenix, but yeah, Trap handled it well regardless.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The energy and the position, but yeah, the probes were still very quick to pull, so Trap not really falling for it, which is impressive in and of itself. I mean, it's TY trying to say, hey, I'm gonna scout with the Reapers, look here, but Trap was like, okay, he's making me look here, there's something else going on, and of course there was, so he pulls the probes in time.
And it is a Banshee with Cloak. Is there a first Banshee on the field, by the way? No. This could be interesting.
Yeah, that is indeed very interesting. I mean, it's so counterintuitive to go Banshee against Phoenix, but I guess Cloak is the key element here, right?
Super is. Like, there's no Oracle on the... Oh, in fact, there is an Oracle on the field, but it has to be in the right place at the right time to deal with that Banshee. I'm still... This game could definitely be mech still from TY, by the way. Like, he's not going for any sort of cloak yet or anything like that.
This mech could be nothing for TY, though. There's 3 lifts available and only a couple of very key anchor units, but the tank will get one shot off, and that's a good start already for TY, as it will soften a couple of those stalkers. Yeah, it looks like Trap is not gonna commit, but I got scared there. I feel like he maybe could have pounced, lifted off the tank and the Cyclone and gone on the rest, but I guess stalkers are not very fighty. And here is the problem, as you were posing it, Ben. The Oracle is not in position for this Cloak Banshee.
Certainly isn't, and TY is kind of trying to take a fight here that he knows isn't going to go super well for him, but he knows his Banshee is going to get in that main base. But Trap's very quick to respond, actually, but no Observer!
Yeah, I mean, how do you respond? What is the response? It's to make an Oracle yesterday, right? Like Oracle now. There it is. Okay. But there's another Oracle that's pulling all the way back from... I guess he could have maybe recalled if he had the energy. Maybe that was the right play, but there wasn't energy. So the Oracle and the Phoenix will have to be pulled back. The Banshee does get the entire mineral line evacuated, as well as 7 probes.
Cats, I've got a secret for you.
What is it?
TY's got the next baby.
Oh, baby.
You're in for a treat here, Cats. You're in for a treat, because, like, TY mech versus Protoss, it is wild, it is crazy. Like, very often he does things like get speed Banshees as well, which is, you know, super duper weird. But it usually features a lot of tanks, very defensive play with Hillbats. He might just die to this, though, so, you know, we might not get to see it. Okay, constructing walls and stuff, this is cool.
Yeah, it's looking all right. There's not... Oh, I guess there is some Zealots, but not that many Zealots on the side of Trap, so it's gonna still be... Oh, okay, some more Zealots coming from the rear. This wall, like you said, is gonna come into play. Without that wall, it might have just been Trap's to take.
Yeah, you saw that, right? Like, Trap, regardless of what he saw there, he was like, yeah, I'm going, man, I'm going. Then after taking like 6 tank shots, he's like, wait a minute, I'll rethink this one. But TY, he's got his 3rd base up. Like, he's kind of got past the super duper dangerous part of the game and not died. So that's already a victory in his eyes.
So, Ben, I've fantasized about this army comp in PvP. And I always think you want ghosts with it, right? But or no. Is it no bueno?
You know, Cats, I usually fantasize about different things than mech against Protoss. But, like, ghosts are pretty damn good. Like, the EMPs and whatever you, but they're very expensive. And it just opens you up to potential all-ins of, like, mass gateway units and things that, you know, you're already going to have a trouble dealing with. Later on, potential, but usually it's like a switch to BCs and stuff.
I see. So yeah, the barracks are mostly going to be moving around and making add-ons for the factories for the time being. I imagine these Marines are mostly disposable, so I like that TY has them, or some of them, scattered around the map. It's actually Trap with much better vision this time around, with observers holding both watchtowers, a war person in the back, a probe in the north, a zealot randomly scattered as well. Love this from Trap.
Yeah, the triple robo with mass immortal production is really cool as well. Like, the Warp Prism's just waiting, ready to... Well, it's just hoping that TY moves out and then it will fly in. By the way, the Wither Mines are a really cute touch as well with this defensively, because you never really know where they are. I mean, he does now because he's got Revelation, and thank you, Trap. But it's always risky when you run in from any angle, you know?
Yeah, especially with those Phoenix potentially looking for lifts onto those tanks. So the tanks are kind of feigning being exposed. There's no turret to protect them, but those mines are bait. Yeah.
These Marines, by the way, it's not like some special agent hit squad. They are kind of, well, like if you can take control of a tower or do...
They were told that they are, Ben.
Yeah. They're sacrificial lambs right now.
We're like, all right, guys.
He doesn't need them. He wants to supply for better units. And oh, TY's actually gonna go into... Oh, he's getting 8 factories.
I love the blue flame as well. It's gonna be so very good against zealots. And yeah, Protoss, I mean, expect them to reinforce with zealots, right? Pretty often. Those are going to be some of the best ways to break those tank lines by charging towards them. So Hellbats are gonna do fantastic against those.
Yeah, they're really good against zealots. But Trap
but I love the Storm.
He only has 5 zealots in his army. Well, now he has 9. But he's gone so damn heavy on the Immortals. Like, this is some rotty Protoss mech right now that he's basically got.
Yeah, and I really like the Storm. Storm is not usually what I think of when I go against mech, but I often regret it because against Hellbats, Hellions, and Mines, and even tanks, right? If you storm a clump, it's so great.
Oh yeah. Very reminiscent of the Brood War PvT as well. Oh, that was 2 sad Phoenix, man. We're getting a lot of sad units in this game, Cats. Oh, there's some sad SCVs over there on the 3rd base as well.
Yeah, those are sad SCVs, and these are now no longer existing zealots, so they have no emotions.
That bunker definitely killed them fairly slow, and Trap is trying to transition to carriers right now, which is cool. Big stand,
Trap is trying to transition into a win, Ben. This is a great position that he has carved for himself with that Zealot run by identifying that the units are not here, and with his army, he is gonna get into a position to kill one of the bases of TY straight up. TY, so smart. Pulls back with enough of his army to siege a defensive position while still being aggressive, but Trap thinks he has enough. He says, that's not all of your army, mister. Can I break it? He's gonna flank from every which way. The Immortals, and with Zealot reinforcements, he will be able to clear this position. And the battle's everywhere, Ben. You think?
Yeah, like all the tanks got cleaned up on the offensive, and TY should be trying to defend at home. The supplies are still surprisingly even. TY's producing like 9 Hellions, 4 Widow Mines, 2 Cyclones at a time, but he's got a very, very fragile army here, and pretty much only Cyclones. All the tanks are there in the north.
Yeah, this is kind of bananas. Those Immortals are kind of king here as well. Those Cyclones, of course, dangerous, but they're all red in health. If they get targeted, if they get blanked on, if they get charged on, there's the blink, and he's gonna go after 2 of them quickly.
Oh, this up, they're so close in supplies here, Cats, and Trap, he's on 5 bases behind this with more probes, which means TY's army technically should be a little bit bigger, but it's not an army that can just like straight up fight, you know? It has to get the tanks sieged up, has to get the Widow Mine sieged up, the Cyclones. They are very fragile units and can just explode to those Immortals. And Trap, he's getting carriers behind all this. He doesn't even need to win with this.
Yeah. He doesn't need to waste it either, though. He doesn't want to push the issue here. TY is not the type of player that you will want to do that against. So we'll actually reveal one of his carriers. Great! Oh, I was gonna say great focus firing. I thought most of those mines were focused onto the carrier. Still, it will go down to the Cyclones. That is an expensive loss, but not without punishment. The siege tank position once again great anchoring the position for TY though.
Yeah, I think TY is in all sorts of trouble here though. Like. He literally has 2 Cyclones that shoot up. Okay, there was a Widow Mine there too. But the Cyclones, again, look, like just... although one carrier is going to die. But Big Daddy Immortals running in, taking out the siege tanks. The carrier, nothing can contest it either.
Yeah, there are a few more Cyclones about to pop, but like you said, these carriers are mostly uncontested here. And if Trap continues to reinforce on the ground, it's going to make it even harder and harder for those Cyclones to lock on and kite these carriers. However, exposed, these carriers can still be taken down. The ground army needs to be there for Trap. Now it is, as it pushes TY back. And these are good trades for Trap, even if he was trading evenly or even if it was a wash.
Wait a minute. Where are all these probes dying? And what too? I think like a Liberator showed up somewhere or something. I mean, Trap, he's getting further and further ahead in supply as this goes on. For a moment there, it looked like it could be close, but Liberators show up as well. GG, Trap ties up the series.
Yes, indeed. It seemed like the carriers were a great surprise, and it really made TY rethink his options. Plus, that position that Trap secured to kill the 4th base of TY off of the back of that little Cellar Rambai was really, really good. And the response also to stop TY's push on the other side.
Yeah, it was a really cool game. It's good to see mech now and then. It's also nice to see Trap handle it very, very well. The triple robo into carriers was super cool. And guys, I think we're going to head into a short break here, but afterwards we'll find out who comes out first in Group A.
Welcome back, and now is time for the conclusion of the series that will determine the first place of Group A of this global finals between TY and Trap. The expected people that we would think are in this deciding match, Ben.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like, when you talk about who's the best Terran right now, TY always gets mentioned. It's not always guaranteed that it's him, but he gets mentioned. Same with Trap for Protoss, right? So when they had Estrella, who did bloody damn well in the Americas, and we had Marine Lord, who surprisingly came top 4 over there in Europe. Yeah, these guys, honestly, they are the best players in this group. Estrella definitely brought it to Trap, and Marine Lord put up hell of a fight too, so it wasn't as one-sided as I thought. But the fact that these guys are going to a game 3 here, that's awesome to see, because they both, honestly, it's such a hard one to call.
Absolutely, and I think this is more or less what we would expect from them. In the top right-hand side of the map, playing for Africa Freaks, it is TY, also known as TY.
And spawning over the bottom left-hand side, as our Red Protoss, playing for Team Jin Air Green Wings, it is Trap.
Also known as YouTube TY as well. So yeah, shout out to him for that. By the way, he's been putting out a lot of content himself, especially for Korean StarCraft. I think that's something that had been lacking for a while, of the quality that he's producing and the amounts. So he does it kind of all, doesn't he?
He plays, he commentates, he wins GSLs, and he does the YouTubing. In fact, I got to admit, the one time that TY wins a GSL is kind of around the same time that he, becomes a commentator as well. Mm-hmm. As commentators, cats, we're just so skilled. We're basically the fact that we haven't gone to Korea. Like the Rotterdam's Pigs and Thaniuses of the world, myself and you. We're just giving everybody else a chance. Unlike TY.
Yeah, I mean, these guys know it. So what can they do? They just gotta play,
Just gotta play. And this is the first game of this series where TY is actually making his barracks in his own base.
Yes, indeed. So that is a little bit surprising. As a Protoss, when I scout and there is no barracks, I am always so confused. But I guess this play... Oh, nice. This is a little nice touch from Trap. Is it that easy to know that there's a CC going down as early? Did he check the second gas, or is it just a given pretty much?
It's just a given. It's just a given. Here, so very often you can be like, oh, why didn't TY chase off the probe to make sure that, he planted it correctly? I found this out recently. The Protoss timings are so damn precise that it's more important finishing the CC.
Yeah.
And just starting ASAP for the Adept that comes over to the map than it is like placing it correctly, as weird as that sounds.
That makes perfect sense, because if you do place it correctly, you're gonna lose less time as far as mining time, because the floating takes a little bit long, right? The lift off animation and the floating it back to position. So that makes sense. You lose a little bit of economy, but it's the timing that he's scared about. It's this Adept follow-up that if the CC is delayed enough, then this Adept can continue to do the job. So that is really cool, actually. I hadn't thought of that before.
Okay, Trap going for the Stargate again. This Reaper just stayed at the tower. I like the fact that he didn't scout with the Reaper and he held it back. Just, he did get the probe kill, actually, which is cool. But he's waiting for these two Hellions. Now, they're going to be able to deal damage, but also get the scout off, which is the big deal. Ooh.
All right, the Adept is also looking for scouts of his own. The Hellions will actually feign going back, but now there's a second Adept that I think TY may be unaware of. I think even though the watchtower was checked, I'm not sure that either player knows that there's an attack inbound, though TY doesn't have to worry about it.
TY, he's making Widow Mines at this point. Oh, these Hellions just getting right on into this main base here. There is an Oracle to defend, which is good for Trap. That keeps him in the game for sure. How many pros will fall, though? Trying to line him up here is TY. Ooh, 3.
Yeah, a good splitting of the weaker probes there by Trap. So minimizing damage for 2 Hellions, 3 probes. Not too bad at all. Oh! Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I thought that might have got him both, but ends up being pretty good for Trap. Once again, this Adept will finally fall, but not before doing some damage and killing 2 SCVs on his side himself. So I'd say I even like this for Trap a little bit better as far as those exchanges are concerned.
Yeah, I guess one of the big things, though, was the fact that the Oracle got exposed to defend, and it never wants to be defending. Like, neither one of these players is looking at this game like they've lost already or anything like that.
Yeah.
But but definitely going to be dicey from now on. He has to dodge the Widow Mines with his oracles. There is only one, and there's actually Vikings out.
Yeah, both oracles have been spotted as well, though. So it's gonna be increasingly harder for a trap. But as I say that, there's 3 oracles. If they get into a mineral line, they will kill SCVs in one shot. So it's a huge commitment, and it relies on how unexpected it is oftentimes, right? It is much more expensive to do than against the other races, Protoss and Zerg, whose workers will die in just 2 shots. So let's see what he can do here. 2 Vikings.
Tank on the high ground is a big daddy.
Yeah. The Stalker's looking to do what they can, but it would take 1 more Stalker to start one-shotting SCVs. 3 won't do it. So yeah, I mean, Trap's struggling to find some damage, but at the same time, he's made himself some space and has taken a very fast 3rd base that is now operational already.
Yeah. Okay, so 3rd base down. He's pumping out 3 probes at a time too, which is cool. Making more Stalkers. Most likely going to go Blink after this, I guess, just to make sure that he doesn't die to any drops and can shut them down. This is annoying, though.
Yes, indeed. He's going to be one-shotting those SCVs. Essentially, 6 will go down quickly before the Vikings can actually get in position to react. Very well done, finding that room for Trap.
I'm really worried for TY this game. I know he's on 3 CCs and stuff, but look at this worker count. It's 39 to 57. Like, this is a game where he really didn't get to deal that much damage to Trap. Whereas Trap, not only did he expand faster, he's also dealing harass economic damage, which is it's so obnoxious a position for TY to be in.
Yeah, he's had no map presence, TY, for a long while, and Trap has been so expertly even to just stay in this position, right? You have to be so confident to know everything that your opponent can and cannot do in order to keep your oracles and your few stalkers out on the map. But those 3 stalkers, I mean, they've been zoning out the Vikings enough that the oracles can do this, and Trap can take that 3rd base. Now he's had so very much time to work with.
I wonder what the next move is for TY, because whenever I'm in this position, like as a Terran player myself, I'm always like, oh gosh, like, do I panic take the 3rd? Do I I have to make turrets for the Warp Prism and for the oracles and for the air units? But yeah, I'm curious. Oh, look at these oracles. So yeah, he didn't make turrets because he scanned earlier. He sees it's a 3rd fully saturated. If you make turrets, you just get further behind. Yeah. But if you don't make turrets, you take damage.
Yeah. So he cut it on the turrets early on because he thought also I have the Vikings. I'm gonna be having Marines, and he was only defending 2 bases. Now with 3 bases, it's gonna get harder and harder. But now turrets feel worse and worse because you're already taking damage, right? Like, you took damage and now you have to react and invest more. Yep. Regardless, 1 is coming up.
This is a really weird army comp from Trap, though. Like, how many Stalkers is that? 18?
Oh, and actually they spent their blink, so the Marines are a little bit confident and choose to fight, but no Marauders will make the Stalkers trade all right. +1 attack has just finished for Trap, somewhat surprisingly, perhaps. Do you prefer that to the armor?
I actually prefer armor. Armor's better if you're going with like big Zealot compositions and stuff, but I think this is indicative of him, A, going the Stalkers, but B, maybe Colossus as well.
I see. So it's because the Stalkers just don't want to fight; they just want to poke and blink away.
Yeah.
So from that perspective, we see it happen right here. The attack is going to be a little bit more favorable because you're not, really looking to stand your ground and fight with the armor. That said, a few of the Stalkers might get caught here.
Maybe. Oh, yeah. It's so rough, man. It's so rough. TY just wants to be out across the map, but Trap's doing everything he can to slow him down. With the air units, with the Stalkers. Trap's handling this really well.
Incredibly well. He's already more than 20 workers ahead, 22 to be precise. Now is gonna kill this CC, and this is TY being completely all in at this point, Ben.
Completely all in. I mean, what are the chances we have? That anti-armor missile is big, though. Really big, actually. In TY's army, you still have to respect it. Do you have any of the boys for this? Shield battery used really early as well. Oh my gosh.
Is it too late? Is it too late to pull the CVs at this point? I mean, I really think that TY needs to kill Trap here. Trap is gonna fight regardless of the armor missile still on him. So great confidence from him. Will it pay off? It's looking like it. 2 Colossus still standing. He wanted to take the engagement before the rest of the army of TY arrived. Now the army of TY has arrived, but it's running out of steam. The medevacs are out of energy, and it is already stimmed once or twice against 2 Colossus and an Immortal as the base, and with reinforcements to warp in. It's looking dire.
It is. For a moment there, TY was ahead in supply, surprisingly, but that flank from the left or right side, too good, and Trap takes it 2-1.
A mice.